Okay, so here's some other interesting stuff. We're going to talk a little bit now about tire balancing. Okay, now I spooned this new Shinko 230 Tour Master. There's the label off it. I like to save those labels in the back of my bike. I don't know why I've got it. It's a sickness. Okay, kind of goes with the genre, if you will, or whatever it's called, the theme of the bike. Anyway, so I just spooned this on. I use my handy dandy. I run a lot of tires off these old Ventures. I've got another one. I got a spare here, rear, and another front that I picked up. And so I'm always, I get a few thousand miles max out of my back tires because we travel so hard. So I spoon my own on. There's my bead breaker. I used to use every method that you can possibly think of, and I still do when I'm on the road because I ain't figured out a way to carry my bead breaker with me yet. But I bought that little bead breaker for $15 and then I used a coupon on it from Harbor Freight. Thing is like handy. It works great. Did I use that to break the bead? I mean, you'd be surprised at what you can do. These are going with me to California. We're going to go to California here soon. So here's my tire tool box. Those three little tire. What do they call those things? Do you remember? Yeah, spoons. I call them tire spoons, but they're not really spoon shape even, are they? Anyway, I like a big one long one, 12, 16 inch, and then the little short ones. Tuck them underneath the brake rotor if you need to kind of hold it in place, whatever. So anyway, so I spoon this on, right? Got her all back together. Got my brake job all done. Showed you that earlier. Got my new brake pads in. Bought a full set, complete bike full set of brake pads. Here they are right here. I like to clean the pistons up and caliper pistons and all that kind of stuff, but that's all back together again. Okay, so now here's something that I hear a lot of talk about: tire balancing. All right. I mean, and there are people that spend big money to get their tires balanced and stuff, and I don't do that. A lot of times I find out when I put a new tire on, they don't need to be balanced. They're good. But this is called, I think this is called static balancing. I think that's the word. All right. It's not spinning. Spin balance is dynamic, I think, and this isn't spin balancing. This is static balancing, and people have done everything from make racks, a stand to put the tire on the axle and stuff to do all this with. But this is a trick of mine. You don't need a balance rack. You got to put the tire back on the bike anyway. Just do what I'm doing here, and it works great. All right. Now on this particular one, this bike came with these fancy dancy lights. These things will clean up really pretty. They're dirty because I don't wash my bike. I got a fetish about not washing my bike because I like to collect dirt. All right. I got dirt from Montana and Glacier and Highway 1 and 2-tracking out in the Redwoods and the Grand Canyon along the edge of the rim. I don't want to wash all that beautiful dirt off, so I don't. But these things would really polish up really nice. I'm going to throw these in with the rest of the chrome. I got a chrome bumper and backlights and chrome pieces off the side. But I don't know, all kinds of stuff that I'm going to just stick all as one package. I'd even put those right there. In there, but I kind of like those. Those are like, look at all the garbage they keep off the fork tubes. Nice, huh? So I'm going to leave those on. But anyway, because I had to take these off, and the way that these mount is, you see that hole right there? That's the axle hole. And what these do is they just slide up in there. You pull the axle, slide them up in there, the axle goes through that hole, and then when you tighten the axle bolt down, it tightens that down. There's no bolts, there's no nothing, just that pinch. The problem that I see with that is, now that they're out, those didn't replace washers in here, in between the bottom fork legs and the bearing alignment inside of the wheel, if you will. There's a bearing here. There's a solid two-piece that goes full length, and there's a bearing on the other side, and then these caps pinch against all that. Well, the problem is that's like 30 or 40 thousandths on each side that is coming out of there. So what I've done is I've loosened up my fork brace. Here, listen. Can you hear that? Okay, I've loosened up my fork brace. So when I pinch this thing together, I can tell whether or not those forks are being squeezed together. And it's all about alignment, okay? And I'm a little bit of a anal person about that kind of stuff. I am crazy, and I ask a lot of my bikes, but one of the things that I try to do is stay on top of little things like that to save myself trouble out on the road. So I got that all loosened up. When I pinch it all back together again, I'll check this and see where that lies and make sure I didn't want my super brace here. That's called a super brace because it's super thick and super hard to keep this thing from having a funny feeling in the front end. But anyway, so I got that all loosened up. Now I haven't done anything back to balancing. I haven't done anything here to tighten anything up. I got my brake caliper on this side being supported by that bungee cord to keep it away from the wheel. I got my brake caliper on that side hidden down behind the fender. Okay, so now the front tire is just sitting loose. Nothing's tightened up. So basically what I have now is a balancing stand. Ta-da! Fancy that! Alright. So and I always check these just to make sure. Well, I just put one weight on her because this is how these static stands work. What you do is you just kind of rotate the wheel and let go of it and see if it creeps. Now watch this. You notice I've already put one weight on right here. Do you see this where I'm pointing? Okay, that's a wheel weight. All right. And the reason that I did that is going to become obvious to you in a second. Now watch this. I'm going to let this go. I'm holding it with my finger right now. Watch. See it creeping? See it creeping? Now what you do is you just let it creep. 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 Right now, the heavy spot of that wheel tire is going to the bottom. All right? You see that? You see it? Can you see that moving in there? I bet you can. All right. So, and you notice that I put that little weight on the wheel right up here. See there? I put that up here opposite of that. So now if we go this way, put that weight at, what would you call that? Okay, it's 360 degrees. Half of that's 180. At 90 degrees, look where I got that weight at right now. Now I'm going to let go of it again and watch it'll creep back up to the top. Can you see that? All right. So right now the heavy spot is down there at the bottom. So right now we're going to just do this again here this way. See, let me show you, because it didn't go all the way that time. See, this is like it's kind of a journey in and of itself. The idea here is to get this thing, all right, to not do this, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hammer on another weight. I don't have any stick-ons, but I do have a number of these clip-ons that I put on here. I like them especially for these Ventures because they have a center rib here. I'd rather have the pound-on like a car wheel has than the stick-ons like a lot of people use on their bikes. Sometimes you can't use those hammer-on jobs. You have to use stick-ons because there's no center rib. But on these bikes there is. So, okay, so now I got to add another one of those on there. And what we want to do is we want to be able to go like this. Now, put the weight at 90 degrees and let go of it and not have it creep. Okay. See? Okay, I'm going to add another weight. And I'm going to get it to the point where it doesn't creep, and then hopefully no bouncy. Right now, it would bounce going down the road and probably bounce right where I ride at, 70, 75, 80 miles an hour. That ain't no fun, seeing the vibration in your mirrors. So I'm taking care of that before I head out on my 8,000-mile, 1-month-long cross-country road trip. And that also should help this new Shinko 230 Shinko. Oh, there goes my brake caliper, just slid down. Oh, by the way, look what I got here. Those are steel lines, braided lines. Whoa, I'll give you a big extra good brakes. Alright, so finish up my job here. Talk to you later.